Okay, guys, this is the Monday direction video. This week will look a little bit different than last week did, okay? One thing that I noticed from the week before spring break is that I'm not sure that a lot of us were following the written directions provided in each assignment, okay? So you want to make sure that you read all of these written directions here. Um, First, it is going to tell you to click on the virtual roll call and check in. So, most of you have been doing that, and I'll show you what it looks like. It is posted here in our stream, and let me find the one from Friday. Here is the one from Friday. What are you proud of yourself for this week? Okay, and a lot of you all, 14. Checked in on Friday. Please make sure that you're doing that. That is just my way to check in with you all and just kind of ask you a few fun questions and just keep up with you all and what you're doing. So, that is the first thing on your checklist for this. You're going to get on the Google Meet at 10:30 every single day if you are able to. If not, you need to go back and watch the video link of the recorded meet. Before completing these activities, you're going to watch all of these videos like the one that I'm doing now. These are going to be your directions videos, and then you are going to do your assignments. It's very important to know that there are two assignments built into this one module. So you want to make sure that you complete both your simple solutions and your on-demand assignment before you hit submit for Monday's assignment. Okay, and that's going to be the same for the rest of the week. You are going to start back with your simple solutions grammar this week. Guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is going to be quite easy. This is the beginning of the book. We started with lesson one. So, yes, it will be easy. We're talking about parts of speech. We're talking about a noun. We're talking about capitalization and punctuation, contractions, and things like that. But here's what I want you to know, okay? If anything, take it as spelling practice, take it as just extra practice in applying things to your on demand writing. Yes, we know that we need a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence. We know that we need punctuation at the end of each sentence. However, okay, and you all know this because we have talked about it in class, you all do not always apply that to your on demand writing. Okay, so we really need to, if you, for instance, comma, if you are writing sentences in assignments, okay, maybe you're in math class, maybe you're in social studies or reading or even in art class or library guidance, okay, music, you might not think that those same rules apply when you are writing. However, that is not correct. You must always capitalize, you must always punctuate. So, my point in saying that is you might not always follow all of the grammar rules. And that might be why we are not applying to on demand writing. I'm not really 100% sure on that. So, take this as practice. If anything, take it for spelling practice. Maybe you can branch out on your vocabulary and things like that. I have read papers from last week, guys, and they did not include capitalization. They did not have proper punctuation. So, really take this as practice. I know that it does seem um, a little bit funny to be doing now, but just like I said, this will really help you, especially when you get to the middle school. Next year, you're going to have an English language arts class, which is very grammar based. So, this is really going to help you prepare for next year. Okay. So, when you are typing in this Google form to give answers, some of these questions are um, dual parted, so there's more than one part. So, for instance, this one here has two questions that you need to answer. You have number one, you have number two. So, when you're typing your answer, you need to put number one and the answer, and then number two, and then the answer. Okay. Um, there are correct answers that will show up at the end. If you have the correct answer, yet you just did not type it exactly how I typed it, Do not fear if it tells you that it is wrong, because I promise you I will be going back through all of these and making sure that it did not do that to you, and making sure that you have your points if you earned your points. Okay, so again, I do want you to take this simple solution seriously. If you have questions about it, please do ask, because like I said, this will be very important for you for next year. The simple solutions pages are attached as PDFs here. Okay, if you choose, you can print these out if you are able to. If not, just do the Google form. But if you choose to print out and do a hard copy of the simple solutions, you need to take pictures of them, and you make sure that the pictures are clear, that we're going to be able to read them if you submit them to Google Classroom. But you are able to submit them to Google Classroom. The submission video is actually over here. In the useful materials topic, I have included the topic or the video of how to upload an assignment to Google Classroom. Okay. Let's see. Let's keep going. So your on-demand assignments are going to look a little bit different, but this is really going to help you all practice your idea development. So what's going to happen is this is going to open, and it should make a copy for everybody so that you can just type directly into this and then submit it to me, okay? These should look familiar. There are poster activities that we have done in class before. All of this is idea development, okay? I know that our format is something that we have talked about, and how that is just an us kind of thing. Other counties do not use our format, but that really gives us an edge, because we know that that format really builds everything in that we need in order to be successful on the rubric. Um, Here's what you all really need to focus on this week, guys, okay? Because we are now in April, and so we have practiced since August. I do not want to see any more one sentence explanations or one sentence examples. Some of the papers that were turned in from last week still had one sentence for each of those, and I said, you cannot properly answer the whys or the hows in one sentence. You cannot tell a story that includes a lot of detail and makes those clear connections in one sentence. So that's what you really need to focus on. Don't rush through it. You have time, okay? And what I want you all to know is that on Friday, okay, Friday is going to count as an assessment. So your Monday through Thursday things are going to be practice, and your Friday is going to count as an assessment. And we know that practice makes perfect. That's why we practice doing these on demand things when we're together in class. That's why we practice timing. Okay, so you want to practice how you want to perform on your assessment. So this one should look a little bit familiar. This is exactly, actually, I pulled this support from one of your all's papers. This was the third on demand that we wrote this year about the lunchroom. So it says, first, students should sit in homerooms at lunch so that they do not break the rules. Well, when you go down to I mean, we know that this is supposed to answer why, that this is supposed to answer how. So again, you have time. You need to back up and you need to say, okay, students should sit in homerooms at lunch so that they do not break the rules. Well, let's say that they are not sitting in homerooms. Why would that provoke them to break the rules? How would them sitting in homerooms keep them from breaking the rules? And then you need to elaborate on that. Well, we know that sometimes our friends are not in our homeroom classes, and when we are with our friends, sometimes we just get really excited, and we just get a little carried away. Um, Things like that. So in your example, again, you definitely need to have more than one sentence, okay? These have to include detail, and you cannot give me a detailed example in one sentence. Now, this example does not have to be necessarily about the lunchroom, but it does have to connect. So to give the proper detail, you can give, for example, comma, set up your story. Well, where is the story taking place? Who were you with? What were you doing? Then give me two sentences about what happened in the story. What is the middle of the story? Then give me another sentence, wrap up the story. Um, very, very end of the story, then your consequently is going to be the result of the very last thing that you said in your example. So let's say that, okay, we were not sitting in homerooms at lunchtime. A bunch of people who are really not supposed to sit together were sitting together because they were not sitting in homerooms. And let's say they started a food fight, okay? A lot of you all pulled the food fight example when we did this the first time on our own. Consequently, they all got sent to the principal's office. Consequently, they had lunch detention for the rest of the year. Consequently, they were not able to eat lunch in the lunchroom anymore and they had to eat lunch in the classroom. Okay? Something like that. That's just going to give a direct result of the last thing that you said over here. Then you're going to reword. You're going to go into your clearly. A lot of you all are doing a lot better with your consequently's and your clearly's. Actually, I'm very, very impressed. Remember that these are the two parts. If you need the videos on the clearly sentence, you can find them in the assignments from last week, or you can go to my teacher website and find the link to the YouTube playlist. Make sure that you're including a gut punch for your as audience sentence. So, as students, I know that you do not want to have to sit in assigned seats for the rest of the year, all because a few of you decided to break the rules. So make sure you're pulling in those gut punches. I love being able to read those. And then you're going to go through and you're going to do the same thing for the not only paragraph. So you are only writing the body paragraphs on these. Again, guys, push yourselves. Okay, you have time. I don't want to see the one sentence explanations and examples. Now, Tuesday through Friday, these are going to look a little bit different. You will not be given the supports. You're going to actually be given a prompt and you are going to get to come up with the supports yourself. Okay. And again, this should make a copy for you and you should be able to just type directly into the Google document. If you have any questions, please let me know. There are lots of new videos and things posted on the teacher website, but they're also here in the Google Classroom under useful materials. So if you have any questions about this activity, please contact me and I'll help.